The Super Mario Bros. Movie has been on my list since the film came out last year in 2023, but I didn't rush to watch it because I wasn't sure if it would appeal to me. Because it sounded interesting, I'd heard a lot of great things about it, but I've never really played Super Mario. I've played a little bit here and there, but it's not one of the games that I grew up with, certainly not something that I play now. But I'd heard so many great things about it that I thought it's about time I gave it a go, and I'm glad I did. So I will stress that I am discussing this as somebody who doesn't really have any relationship with the games, with the characters, and I imagine my experience would be quite different to those who are very fond of the characters, fond of the games, and I also imagine that other people have very different expectations. I didn't really have any expectations, to be honest, so that's just worth bearing in mind. And that being said, I did enjoy it, I do recommend it, and I can confirm that even if you have no real knowledge of the games, it makes perfect sense, and it's still one that I think is worth watching. It's directed by Aaron Horvath, Michael Jelenic, Pierre Leduc, and Fabian Pollock, and I apologise if I've mispronounced any of those names, and it's written by Matthew Fogel. We have a really great voice cast, including, to name just a few, Keegan-Michael Richardson, Jack Black, Chris Pratt, Anya Taylor-Joy, Seth Rogen. Really, really strong voice cast. And the animation is absolutely stunning. My favourite character in the entire thing, because it's the most adorable character ever, is the Penguin King. I don't know if that character features heavily in the games. I haven't had any experience with the character, but I thought it was absolutely adorable. The film is, of course, about Mario and Luigi, who are brothers. And I've only just realised it's called Mario Brothers, but only one of them is called Mario. I'm intrigued. Okay, so I googled it, and actually there are many discussions about this online. If anybody has any thoughts on that, please feel free to share. The film is about Mario and Luigi, who are two plumbers, and they end up in the magical world where we have Princess Peach and this brilliant character. I don't know much about the character outside of the film, but this really menacing king of this kingdom, and Mario and Luigi are actually separated, which I thought was a really interesting concept, and they have to work to save the day, to find each other, to prevent Princess Peach from being in danger. And there is a lot more to the narrative than that. I'm describing it in a very simple way, but I feel like it's a very well-written, well-constructed narrative. It has a lot to offer. The pacing is great. It flows really well. As a story, it's really entertaining. And then we have the animation. It is absolutely stunning. Everywhere you look, there are bright colours, fun designs, different creatures, and as I said, and I will say this again, I have no idea how many of these characters feature extensively in the games, or if they've created characters specifically for this. There were definitely some that I recognised, but there were absolutely many that I did not. So if anybody wants to share anything, any thoughts on that, please feel free to do so. The characters are all really interesting, well written, well developed, well animated. The narrative is really strong. The animation is stunning. So for me, as somebody who has played a tiny amount of Super Mario and that's it, basically I've played a tiny bit of Mario Kart, that is the extent, and I am terrible at it. Much prefer Crash Team Racing. For somebody who hasn't really got any real connection to the games, to the characters, I enjoyed it. I liked it. If there is a sequel, I have no idea if they're planning a sequel. I haven't looked into it. But based on how well this has been received, it wouldn't surprise me if they do. I would watch it. I would be happy to watch it. This is never going to be my favourite film. It's not my favourite film released last year. But there is nothing about this that didn't work. And I can see why it's been so well received. As I said, my opinions may well be very different to those with a strong relationship with the characters and the games, but judging it purely from my perspective, I was pretty impressed with the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I can completely see why this is very successful. And if, like me, you've been considering watching it, but you're not sure if it would appeal to you, if it would work very well as somebody with no knowledge of the games, definitely give it a go. I really enjoyed it. Very impressive. Happy to recommend it.